You're listening to the Sisterhood of Limitless Living podcast. I'm your host, Dr. April Moreno. I'm a public health specialist focused on integrative wellness and autoimmune living, supporting the community of women, where I help you to live your best quality of life through being your best self-advocate. Let's get started. Hello, Sisterhood. Welcome to another episode of the Sisterhood of Limitless Living. I'm Dr. April Moreno, and today we have a special conversation with Melissa Bates. She's also known as the Biz Coach, and she is a content marketing coach, and she is here to share her amazing story and tips about living with autoimmune conditions while starting her own business. So welcome, Melissa.
Thank you. It's so nice to see your face, as well as thank you for having me. And what I would love to say is hello to all of you beautiful listeners out there. So my name is Melissa Bates. I am also known as the Biz Wolf, and I'm from California. I am 35 years young, and I've been in the coaching industry for about 5 years now. Oh, it is adding up. So that is me in a nutshell. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Awesome. 5 years. Yeah, I know. I think it flies as you get older, doesn't it? It goes faster.
True. I think after I turned 21, it was like, oh, I'm 35 already.
Right? I'm starting to lose count. So, yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your business and the content marketing world, what you do to help clients.
Okay. So basically, you can also call me a biz coach. I like to dive in and help females build their businesses from scratch. So I really focus on helping new coaches. And what I do is when it comes to kind of branding your business and just getting out there, I love focusing on content, because I feel like within content, that's where you find your voice. That's where you find your brand. That's where you find that authenticity that so many coaches are unable to get to, because they feel like they might have to stay into this cookie cutter kind of brand of being a coach or being in whatever field that they are currently in. What I do with my girls, I basically help them set up any type of programs that they want to offer their clients. I help them set up marketing. I help them set up engagement and just literally everything you need to start your business.
What are some examples of the types of businesses that have come to you for help?
Mainly, I work with a lot of health coaches because my background is, in the beginning, I started as a health coach. I did health coaching for about 3.5 years, and then my mind was just not as aligned anymore. So that's when I switched over to business coaching. But I would say I've worked with health coaches, finance coaches. I think honestly, mainly in the health industry. That's what I've really gotten to. And then within the finance industry as well.
Some of your clients come to you for tips on how to build their health-related businesses or even finance-related businesses, things like that as well. Tell us a little bit more about how people can start. Well, even before that, let's talk a little bit more on the side of health.
Okay,
so you mentioned that you've worked in the health field, but you also have let me know that you've also dealt with autoimmune conditions. So please share that experience with us.
Okay, so that experience was a whole year of just figuring out what my body needed me to do for it. Because, and if I take it back before that, throughout my life, I kind of struggled with binge eating, bulimia, chronic dieting. I never treated my body as I should have treated my body, with respect, kind of going through that all the time. And then I think it literally just caught up to me. It was just really too much for my body. And I think my body was just like, I'm trying to support you, but you're not allowing me to do it. So then I was living in South Korea and I was diagnosed with IBS. I didn't know anything about IBS at that point, so I had to learn everything from scratch. And learning and being in South Korea, I had a lot of language barriers to get through. But that story was, it was a whole year of my body just kind of reacting to food in ways that were very unnatural to me. Even eating an apple, my stomach would just swell up, or I would get crazy pains throughout my back. And there was points where it's like I couldn't eat. So I would eat like once a day, every 24 hours, because my body needed the time to digest the food, because it just would not allow myself to do anything other than just rest. It like wanted to rest and just like replenish itself inside. So it took me a long time to get back to that. And once I was in that period, my life only consisted of trying to heal myself and working. It was hard to kind of really, really focus on work because I was already always trying to just like fix myself and heal myself from just being in the pain and being in the area of the unknown. So what I did with that to heal myself, which I still have it, I still have flare-ups once in a while, but I've gotten them down. And I really, really am cautious of what I eat and really, really cautious of how my body is responding to the food I eat. Like I always say that I can feel the food running through my intestines because it's like that's how in sync I've gotten with my body. So I did the FODMAP. That's how I really helped I did an elimination diet. That's how I really helped heal my IBS, as well as making sure my stress levels stay down in my life, because that is a big one. I think that was really honestly the thing that I really, really had to make sure it was under control.
Tell the listeners what the FODMAP diet is. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, sure. So the FODMAP diet is basically, it's an elimination diet where you kind of take out all things out of your diet and you slowly put them back in to see how your body reacts to it. Mm-hmm. So once I did that, I knew that my body was not into onions anymore, into garlic. Dried fruits were horrible for me, any type of sugars. I think my safest bet with fruit-wise was apples and strawberries. So it works from body to body, but basically it's all about just taking anything out of your body and putting it in slowly so that you can tell what is really triggering your body inside.
Would you say it's similar to the AIP diet, autoimmune protocol diet, or is it slightly different? Because I know AIP, they tell you specifically what to take out and then to reintroduce.
No, the FODMAP, it does tell you what to take out. It does tell you what to take out. I don't know how detailed it is, but it tells you what foods to okay, so there's like a different chart. One side is like really, really kind of like dangerous territory, and one is like the safe territory. Mm-hmm. So it alerts you to that, and then you can put in those triggering foods, but see how they react in your system, because everyone's different.
Were you still living in South Korea at the time you began the diet and making those changes?
Yes.
Wow.
It was what I did. What really helped me was to kind of rebuild the inside of my intestine lining. And I did a lot of bone broths. That was so that's what I really concentrated on eating, and any type of, so I love spicy food. That is my jam, but that had to go out. I did it well. I was like, I prefer my body, but now I can eat spicy food again. So it was just like healing my body, but that was hard. I had to give up spicy food, coffee, dairy. Gluten was a really big trigger for me. I gave up gluten for a really long time, but I can eat it again now. So the thing is, with the way my body worked, was I was able to heal it, so I can eat the foods again. I just am very cautious.
Are there certain foods that you still cannot eat? I
still stay away from any type of dried fruits, because my natural, my internal pump system in my body that digests food, it's slower than the average human. So these types of food they'll stay in my intestines and create basically mold. Yeah. So that's why I stay away from anything that really takes a long time for my body to digest.
And so how long did this process take to recovery?
Oh, so I would say about 3 years, honestly. I would say the first year was very deep and intensive. And then the second 2 years, they were more mellow, and I was able to start eating more, but I still noticed once in a while, especially when my stress spiked, I would start getting flare-ups a lot still. But I would say around now, it's about 3 years, and I can only say I haven't had any flare-ups lately. I want to say that. Yeah, I don't think I've had any flare-ups lately. Knock on wood.
Yes, with desk here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I'm so glad to hear that. When did you come back from South Korea?
I came back in 2018.
May have mentioned that to you a little bit. I was in Tokyo for 6 years. I went in 2000 and I came back in 2006. I loved it so much. Yes, I actually forgot that I could leave.
My sister's actually moving to Japan in 12 days.
Yeah, it's so
We're
much
a traveling
fun.
family.
Super fun. Love it there. And then tell us a little bit more now about how you became a business coach. Yeah, how did your past experiences inspire you to go into coaching?
So I think when I really started as a coach, it was due to my history with bulimia and binge eating and things like that. And that's really what pushed me into the coaching world. Because once I was able to heal that in my body, I was like, oh my God, I have to share this with everyone. This is amazing. Because when we are in these zones, we're so suppressed. Our mind only thinks about that one area. So it's everything else out there, we're unable to grow in the way that we could grow if these things were healed and eliminated from our lives. So once I experienced that and the growth that occurred throughout that process, I wanted to share it with them. So I was a health coach for about 3.5 years, but then I felt myself kind of unaligning with it. And I knew that I still wanted to impact women, but I knew in a different way. So 6 months prior to me shifting into a business coach, I knew that I wanted to be a business coach, but I would say I was playing it small because I was like, no, Mel, this is what you went through in life. This is your story. So I was allowing myself to be defined by my story. And then finally, I was just like, no, my heart's not aligned with it anymore. So I just kind of made the leap and jumped into business coaching. And then I got my first client back in, I think, September of last year for business coaching. And my heart, everything, content, building, it was just so aligned with my soul that it wasn't even hard to do. And it lit me up every single day. So yeah, that's what really drew me to it. And once I tasted it, I was like, this is where I need to be. Funny story is back in 2003, when I started university, I actually started as a business marketing major, but I dropped out the next day and I went to art because I was so bored within that marketing class that I was like, this is not for me. This does not light up my soul. So I did photography and graphic design in university. But what I love is that was like 17 years ago. But like throughout all my life experience, I feel like it has led me to coming in and bringing it around to being a business coach because I get to have different perspectives rather than someone that has just studied business. I have the creative side. I've been through the experience side of like actually building coaching business. So it kind of I love the path that I took. I'll just say that.
I love that. It's not like we have to have one direction, one path to get somewhere. I love these side roads that people take along the way and pick up these additional skills and follow their other interests in life. We have many interests. We don't just have one. When I was an undergrad, I had like 5 different majors. I started out with biology, and then I wanted to be a broadcast journalist, right? Mass communications, all these things. And then I ended up with anthropology. It just makes everything so much richer and so much more. Yeah, I just love the depth of the experience that you can bring into your coaching as a result.
I agree.
And creating it and designing it specifically. I mean, it makes you who you are.
True. And to add on to that, I was in South Korea for 4.5 years. And I really specialize in speaking and writing with my students. So it all comes to play into my business as well. Yeah, I definitely teach my clients how to write in a way to truly attract their audiences. So I think it was actually a week ago, I sat down and I thought about this and I was like, wow, your life has really prepared you for this. Yeah.
Tell us about how women with autoimmune conditions could work with you or learn how to start a business. What types of businesses and why would somebody with a health condition, chronic health condition, want to start a business?
I think for me and a lot of other females that I work with, it's just that freedom. And especially when you have any type of position in your life where you need to have your own space, you need to heal, you need that freedom. Starting a business is so magical because when I first got IBS, I was still working. Well, I was working a full-time job. I was working coaching part-time and then my full-time job. So I still had to leave my house and go to the position, but I would be in pain and I would just literally want to be home. So I think the benefit of starting your own business as an individual that definitely has an autoimmune disease is just that freedom to live the way that you need to live to heal yourself and create that environment. Especially like being an entrepreneur is stressful. Let's be real. But
everything else is too. So
everything else is too. And this is where you get to create the life that you want to live and you have your own time. So that's why I think it's so powerful to create your own business and just believe in living the life of your choice.
Personally, it's been a few years, actually 2 years now, of working in this field of integrative and autoimmune coaching for women. And it's definitely not easy. Definitely not. But what I'm thinking more recently is about the power of collaboration and community and network. That's what I'm exploring right now.
I agree. I shied away from community for a really long time because I think it was also myself not feeling like I had the skills to be out there and be in the forefront. But then I kind of just thought about it, and I was just like, you're holding yourself back from all these beautiful relationships in the world, as well as allowing yourself to make that impact. And a big thing with coaching, especially as owning your own coaching business online, engagement. You have to do engagement. And a lot of individuals come to me and they're just like, oh, I don't like engagement. It makes me feel icky, or I don't want to be salesy and things like that. But I always like to say, think about it like this. You are a coach, you want to serve. So if you are not getting in front of people, you are not allowing them. You're not allowing yourself to serve them if they need you. And when you're getting in front of people, there'll be people that want nothing to do with you, but then there'll be people like, oh my God, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Like, I need you. And I've had that with coaching. I've had that with business coaching as well as health coaching. But it's just allowing yourself to know it's okay to get out there in the world and make relationships. And even through that engagement, I've made amazing friends. I've had amazing clients. I've gained more clients. It's just, engagement is fun.
Being part of a community and engagement is powerful, and reaching out to people who need you. Brave enough to do it. All right. Tell us how we can get in touch with you. Tell us about your current programs, things like that.
Right now, I offer one-to-one coaching. And then I also offer, it's kind of a self-guided course, and it's called the Truly Aligned Instagram Content Accelerator, which it teaches you how to write the content to truly attract your audience, as well as learn how to engage and get in front of potential clients. That's the power of that program. And you can find me at The Biz Wolf. Obviously, I'm always there. I'm on Instagram. That's my platform. And then my website is melissabbates.com. That's where you can find my services as well. And then if you're kind of just like, I want to start a business, but I'm not sure, but I just need the basics and I'm not ready to jump into a program, I also offer business strategy calls where we can just kind of go through everything you need, how to get you started, and the next steps to take.
So all these different levels, different layers, different skills that people can come to you for help with. What tips would you give to somebody who's going through IBS or an autoimmune condition and they need to figure out what to do next with their life?
What I would say is, don't put off the power of food. Don't just feel like you have to deal with it and you can't heal it. I would definitely say allow yourself to know that your body's worth taking the steps to heal it. I see a lot of individuals, and it breaks my heart. It's just like, oh, this is what I have. And then they just continually to eat food that's just making it even worse. And I'm like, your body deserves so much more than that. And you can live a happier life when you take care of your body with food. So I would say definitely taking the time to maybe do the FODMAP and really figure out what's triggering your IBS. And stress levels, keep your stress levels down. If you can feel it in your body, take a minute to meditate, take a minute to read, take a minute just to relax your mind, and become very aware of any situations that heighten your stress, any individuals that heighten your stress. Become aware of that. And with my family, even when there was like higher stress levels, I would alert them. Stress for me is very triggering to my IBS, so I cannot be in this space. This is not going to happen right now. So I think just also being open and honest with the people in your community and your immediate family and things like that.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing a few months ago.
Yeah.
It's serious. Like, it's no surprise. It's no coincidence that these flares happen, these relapses happen in these really stressful environments. Our bodies are tensed up. All that cortisol and all these other things that are going on impede our digestion and impede the way that we think clearly, and just so many decisions that we make in our lives. Yeah.
The brain fog is real.
Right. Brain fog. Yes. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here on the Sisterhood of Limitless Living podcast today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Sisterhood of Limitless Living podcast, season 2. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Look forward to having you join us in upcoming episodes as well, where we continue to talk about integrative wellness and autoimmune living our best lives, being our own best advocates. Feel free to subscribe on iTunes to the podcast, and we are also available on several other locations as well. For more information about Dr. April Moreno, you can visit aprilmorenophd.com. Take care.